बोलल्यावरती गुड करायचं बघ. You have to speak. Good girl. Good girl. Speak. Woo. Speak. Yes, good girl.
Quabby! Quabu! Hi, baby Quab! Quabby! Hello, 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 hello. So happy, my baby. He's so happy. Say, good morning. Good morning.
Your friend? Do you like playing with Aslan? Come here,